All right, so let's talk about site stats inside of Clicks. So this is basically the main way of taking a look at any traffic keyword, traffic history, top page analytics for any website or URL in the Click software. So let's talk about the best way of doing it. So I have recently added inside of your dashboard, you can do a quick site search. If you have anything quick you'd like to search, you can do it through here, or we can head over to the site stats page. This is kind of the main focal point for site stats. So we have a little input field where we can add in a root domain or a specific URL. So we currently, as you guys can see here, can't process subdomains or subfolders just yet. So for example, Clicks cannot process cook.noracooks.com. It won't be able to understand that. Or if I also do noracooks.com/cook, I wouldn't be able to explore that specific subfolder. So for right now, it's either domains or URLs. More info on this coming soon. So let's talk about first root domains, and then we can talk about URLs. So when we do a search, we can actually just click into it here. And by the way, a note on credits, just check the credit video up there. We're going to get quite a lot of data. So we get the estimated number of keywords that this domain is ranking for, the estimated monthly traffic, and the estimated domain power, backlinks, and referring domains. So the domain power is a metric that I've kind of calculated, and it might be different from Ahrefs's domain rating and SEMrush and Moz, whatever other metrics they have. But basically, it will give you a pretty good indication of how much authority this specific website has. And it is purely based on the quality and quantity of backlinks that this domain has. Now, more of that when we take a look at the backlink analysis video, which will be under this one. But let's take a look at the traffic over time. So just the estimated traffic for this website over the past couple of years. So dating back to October 2020, traffic by location, pretty simple. We have an idea of where they're getting their traffic from. So this is really good if you're doing competitor analysis. We see the top pages and the historical keyword positioning. So out of the keywords that this domain has, we can basically click and see. So most of them are in the orange. So they're ranked 11 plus. So they're on the second page. There's a few of them that are in the top 10, so 4 to 10. And then there's a few that are in the top 3. So we can actually click on these and we'll see a more dynamic little chart here. If we just want to take a look at these two fields, we just have to click off the other field that we're not interested in. Now, let's take a look at some of these sub pages. So if we click into either of these pages, we're going to get the top keyword. So pretty easy here. We're basically just going to get a breakdown of where those keywords are ranking. So what's the position? What's the specific keyword that it's ranking for? The search volume, the keyword difficulty, the cost per click, again, the average price that someone would pay for this keyword in a Google Ads auction, and then the estimated traffic for this keyword, and finally the URL that is actually ranking for that specific keyword. So a lot of different keywords that we can play around with here. Feel free to export this, copy it, CSV, whatever you'd like. Play around with the filters, also play around with the term filters. So maybe something with chocolate. We're going to see all the different keywords that this domain is ranking for with that term filter. So a lot of data that we can play around with. Very powerful top keywords report. Now we also have the top pages here. Basically, what are the pages that are bringing the most traffic for this specific domain? So we have vegan chocolate cake, lentil soup, vegan pancakes, so on and so forth, and the estimated traffic down here. We can also play around with a lot of these pages. So the last thing here is the competitor domain. So what we see here is just literally the domains for our competitors and the number of keyword intersections. The higher the keyword intersections, the closer of a competitor that domain will be. So we can explore all of these different domains, just clicking into any of these, and we're now opening up a new site stat, and we're taking a look at the site stats for thekitchen.com, for example. So now that it's loaded, we now have a brand new site stat, and we can start analyzing this here. Now, one last thing, we do use a credit whenever we choose to refresh the data inside of this report. So we just have to click that button and that would refresh the data. I just refreshed it now, this brand new data, so I don't need to click on it just yet. Now, the other side of the site stats report is the specific URL report. So if we actually take a look at the top pages here and we say, okay, let's check out whatever, how to make a classic martini. So this is going to open the specific URL report for this URL. So we're basically going to take a look at all the keywords that they're ranking for, the estimated traffic, paid traffic. We see no paid traffic here. The URL power. So what's the authority based on the quality and quantity of the backlinks coming to this URL specifically. And then we have the backlinks and the referring domains. Now we have all the different keywords that they're ranking for, search volume, just like in the domain side of things, keyword difficulty, the cost per click, and the estimated traffic. Play around with this. And if we want to see all of these top keywords, we're going to see that this menu here is reduced because we don't have competitors for a specific URL. We don't have competitors for the domain, and we don't have top pages since we're only taking a look at this page. But we can take a look at all the different keywords if we click into this menu here. And we now have the full breadth of all the different keywords, 500 keywords plus that this URL is ranking for. And again, play around with these filters, export it. And that's basically, I can go back to the domain overview. I can go back to the URL overview. Because I've already just searched this, I'm not going to use up a credit. But very important, when you're on the domain side of things, every time you click on a URL analysis, that is going to use up a credit. So very important to take that into account. If you guys have any questions, just let me know.